The newspapers and local news stations splashed headlines everywhere, and that single word, allegedly, seemed to grow smaller, to fade into the enormous text around it. Jackson Reimer, alleged wife collector murderer, held in local jail. Whenever one of the coiffed and pinched news anchors said her daddy's name, that word was always attached. Jackson Reimer allegedly murdered these women in a fit of rage. The memory still nagged her. Her father, a murderer, and she, barely a second grader, thrust in front of the media as the devil's own daughter, who did a noble thing by turning him in. Back then, she didn't have any idea what that meant. Back then, she wasn't able to decide if what she saw and what she was told she saw were the same thing. Back then, she didn't know her words would be used against the one person who had always taken care of her. Her father. But he had never been tried, never been convicted, because he had disappeared. Then the news anchors started to drop the alleged altogether. Denise flipped on her blinker, the click, 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 bringing Bex back to the here and now. "Are you hungry?" Denise asked. Bex shifted, pushing the memory, the broken look in her father's eyes, the sound of his shackles scraping on the cement as they led him away, as far out of her present mind as she dared. "A little bit." "Well, Michael's at home. He's a master chef. At least, he thinks he is. Really, he's lousy in front of anything but an open flame, and even that's iffy. He's doing burgers. I hope that's okay." Bex nodded. Her head was an absolute mess, the events of the last 24 hours humming in her brain like the whir of the plane's engine. Since Tuesday, everything had been new. The first time she had dyed her hair. The first time she had cut it more than an inch. The first time she had been on a plane. The first time she ever had real hope that she could put her past behind her and never again be the wife collector's daughter. She swallowed hard when Denise aimed her car between the two huge brick fences of the Kill Devil Hills beachfront neighborhood. Brush grass and trees lined the sidewalks, yawning into the night and softening the edges of the comfortable cookie-cutter homes on either side of the street. Denise reached out and gingerly patted Bex's knee. "Home sweet home, hon. You ready?" Bex didn't know how to answer. Denise was right. Michael wasn't much of a cook, but he piled Bex's burger with 3 kinds of cheese to make up for the half-charred puck of ground beef, and talked relentlessly about the university where he worked as a professor of anthropology. And Bex kind of liked him. He was funny and animated, and by the time Bex's burger was reduced to crumbs, she and Denise were holding their stomachs and wiping tears from their eyes. When Bex's eyes flicked to the clock on the stove, it was nearly 9 by then, she realized that the last 2 hours of her life had been just that, brand new. She couldn't remember the last time she had eaten a terrible burger, laughed so hard it hurt, and not ached inside, missing her grandmother. She couldn't remember the last time she was this carefree, this happy. "Can I help with the dishes?" Bex asked, standing. Michael looked taken aback, his eyes going to Denise and then back to Bex. "Didn't anyone tell you?" Heat burned the top of Bex's ears, and her chest tightened. "Tell me what?" "You're a teenager. You're supposed to hate us, refuse to do anything, then stomp up the stairs screaming, 'You're ruining my life.'" He broke into a grin so wide it made his brown eyes crinkle at the corners. Denise swatted him. "Michael, leave her alone. It's only her first night. She'll have plenty of time to scorn your terrible dad jokes and be that teenager later."